welcome to the Stirred Up Podcast Holiday Edition. Let's start in the NBA, Quail, because you're the only one who watches that BS.
I sure don't.
Man,
Is anybody doing anything?
Is anybody doing anything? No,
Right, like, I heard Boston is
forth.
winning, but I'm telling you, dude, I don't even watch Sports Center no more.
Everybody can be beat. I guess this is what you want from the NBA as a whole. It's just there's a lot of decent players. There's no superior team, no real superstars that are just, overwhelming the league right now. So
Somebody said that Tatum's averaging 30 a night. Is that about right?
probably, yeah, he's a league candidate for MVP.
So he's the Peyton Manning of the NBA. He puts a lot of numbers in the regular season, but when the playoffs come, he chokes.
Oh yeah, no, I want to see what he does in the postseason because it really don't matter right now.
What about Phoenix? I heard they was
Phoenix,
on a
yeah.
little game streak.
Well, Aiden need to get up out of there. They should have got him. He got into another argument with his coach.
Who?
They keep having problems with him.
DeAndre Ayton.
Aiden.
Oh my goodness, the one that don't want to, the one that don't want to play when even though he's making money.
Yeah, that guy. He getting paid too much to be doing what he's doing. I have to look up his numbers, but I am sure they are not that great because I ain't heard nothing about this dude. He's just there.
I personally, we talked about this earlier when they did it, when they resigned him. They should just let Indiana take him. I mean, he's not even. He has spurts. That's not good enough for that team. Every couple months is not good. I mean, I don't want that much inconsistency on my team. So,
I agree. I mean, yeah. Y'all want me going to all the players because there's plenty of other players going to. There's so many things going on in the league.
Nah,
Towns is out. Anthony Davis is out.
Hey, hold up.
Towns is what I thought he was.
Anthony Davis, you called him by the wrong name. That's Mr. What's his nickname? Street Clothes.
Yeah, but now Towns is out, and I'm like, you bum. You wanted You wanted Rudy Gobert to take your spot as a center, even though you're supposed to be a superstar, and now you hurt. He's just like Anthony Davis. Both of these dudes don't want to play the five, but they have more production in the five.
That's because these
Anthony
fools,
Davis,
they came into the league thinking they could do what Tim Duncan did. Tim Duncan was a center at Wake Forest, right, OJ? And when he got there, David Robinson was already center. So the coach, it's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody help me out. San Antonio's coach. Popovich put Duncan at the 4 because he wanted him to play, and that was successful. So now people like Davis and Gobert and a couple of others think they can do the same thing. No, there's only going to be one Tim Duncan, and to me, he's still probably one of the best 4s of all time. So, I mean, people do overall players, but if you go by position, if I'm starting a team, he's my 4 all day, every day.
Yeah, there were so many big animals and crazy seven footers during that time that played the 5. Shaq, freaking, I'm getting all my centers now.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Shaq, man, no. Hakeem Olajuwon. The thing is, you wasn't gonna be able to play with those type of guys sometimes, and if you did, it would be for the night. You'd have to cover them.
Well, you know as well as I do. You know as well as I do that there's no way on this planet or any other planet that Anthony Davis or Rudy Gobert was going to hang with Shaq. No way. Not even close.
Right. So that's my thing, man. Right now the NBA is soft and it's more of a shooting league, so you will be dominant in the paint. So just play the 5. You ain't banging with nobody.
They don't play like that no more.
Stigma of banging, right?
That's why I like the old school, Tony, because back in the 90s and early 2000s, they just played ball. It wasn't about showboating. It wasn't about whining and complaining. It was getting where you fit in. Do your role. Is it my job to come off the bench and shoot threes? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Craig Hodges, that's what he did for the Bulls in the 90s. Is it my job to come off the bench for defense? Okay, I'm gonna do that. I forgot who that dude was for the Spurs that did that in the 90s or the early 2000s. What was his name? The bottom line is, people in the 90s and the early 2000s, they knew their role. If I'm supposed to shoot the three, I'm gonna shoot the three. If I'm coming off the bench just for defense, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna beg for the ball. I'm not gonna whine because I'm not getting it. You know, these kids come out of college now, especially because they got to play 1 year and can't go to the straight to NBA like LeBron, Kobe, and KG did. They mad anyway, so they come out, get the money, and then they don't even play what they worth. Not in my opinion, anyway. They get that check and that's it. Especially since that current CBA is in place, where if they get hurt, Klay Thompson, I can get paid anyway. Bruce Bowen, that was his name, OJ.
Bruce Bowen, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
That's right.
He was the Kobe shutdown. He's the only person in the West that could hold Kobe to single digits in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe used to hate playing Bruce Bowen too.
Didn't he play for the Pistons?
No, well, I don't know if he did later in his career, but he played most of his career with San Antonio. You might be thinking of Ben Wallace. There's another person who played their role. Him and Rodman later on in his career. He knew all his job was to do was get rebounds and throw to our team. Get the ball and get it to my team. That's all the Bulls signed Rodman for. They didn't need him to shoot, but he got 15 rebounds a game, and guess what? They won more games when he was rebounding the ball. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't have players these days, these kids these days coming out of college thinking, okay, I'm just gonna fit in and I want to do this. I want to be the star. And you got to give me the ball. No, shut up. You don't even number one. You ain't even that good. So
the Brooklyn Nets hung 91 on somebody in the half. It happened last night. I think it was Golden State.
What is their record anyway? How have they been doing with this new coach? I mean, because I haven't heard nothing, so he must be doing something right, I guess, or maybe the players are taking to him. Because Steve Nash, he's not my favorite person in the world, but I think they did him wrong. They didn't give that man a chance.
I think Brooklyn's balling now.
20-12, Brooklyn Nets. They're in fourth position in the East.
Who's number one? Boston?
The Bucks, 22-9.
Okay.
So they're only 2 games out.
Yeah, that's a tight race over there. Who's 2 and 3?
Yeah. 2 and 3 is Boston is 2 and Cleveland is 3.
Now Cleveland, that's the team that I expect to do well. They better do something. Because number one, they was in the play-in and almost got into the playoffs last year. And 2, they picked up Donyell Marshall. If this was the 90s, I'd be watching basketball every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right.
But based on the fact that it's the year 2022 and these teams are just busters and just trying to showboat, I ain't got time for all that.
The whole season, NBA season, is too early for me until we get to the playoffs. Shoot.
Yeah.
And I like watching the play-in though, because you know that 8th and that 9th and 10th team fighting for their lives, and maybe they was good enough but just lost, 1 game or 2 games the wrong way. I like to watch that. I like to see the underdog get in.
That's true.
All right, OJ. We got WAC Georgia at number 1. My boys Michigan at number 2. TCU at number 3.
GOAT,
Who is number 4?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yeah, I should have known that. 'Cause my wife or my sister-in-law is from Cleveland, is from Ohio, and of course my brother's down in Georgia. So
Yeah, and it would have been USC, but then they lost for the second time against Utah.
Ooh, boy, they got whooped.
That's why Ohio State.
But Caleb Williams still got the Heisman. Good for him.
that Heisman Trophy's overrated.
What?
I guess. I mean, it's the college version of the most valuable player, but most Heisman Trophy winners don't even do well in the NFL. Ask your boy Rashawn Salam. Who's that boy that went to USC? Reggie Bush. Where's he at now? I mean,
Sports
He got him a Super Bowl ring though.
You got him one,
He got him a Super Bowl.
You got him one.
Yeah.
he got him a ring
Yeah.
because he came in the league at the right time. It ain't like he helped him win it.
But Bush was doing his thing.
They'd have won it
Why no
without.
honor?
they'd have won it without him. They won that Super Bowl on Drew Brees' arm.
We would have won that without him, bro.
No, you got to give him his credit.
I ain't
There's no
saying
way.
I ain't saying he was an intricate
There's
part.
no way, bro.
I'm just saying they still would have won it without him.
No,
They
they
might
wouldn't have.
not have been there without him though, because
wouldn't
you,
have been,
you
right.
recall in the regular season, Reggie Bush was killing it, and
Yeah.
he was a decoy too, and he
Mhm.
can play out the backfield and he can block. So I mean, he was doing all right though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was hyped a lot. I get it, but
I'm
he did all right.
gonna tell y'all because I told OJ this in private. I'm gonna tell y'all on the air. The only reason that New Orleans won that Super Bowl is because Peyton Manning wanted to give it to him. That's why he threw that pick on the 33-yard line when they were driving down for that winning touchdown. He's like, you know what, Drew's my boy.
And I loved every moment of
Let me
that play.
let me
Hey,
let me
y'all
just
hear me?
You
let me
heard me?
just
Like,
let me
come
just
on.
throw
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Let me just
Yeah,
throw
man.
this pick so he can have one. He already had a ring anyway, and he got another one. So
Cliff going down this conspiracy path.
No, of course he does. Does that all the time.
hey, me and OJ has always had this conversation, and I think me and Tony did too. Sometimes the way these games be playing out, I think that shaving point things is a thing. I think people really be doing that for real, just to make that money in Vegas. Yep, I said it.
Oh.
All right, it's time for the man's
Let's
game.
get the football, baby. You already know.
All right, hey, Quill, is your boys gonna make the playoffs? They said the Packers got an outside chance of getting in.
It wasn't.
Hey,
Spoken that good stuff.
don't you dare start the football start off without that. With that, you better go to some. You better go to another team.
hey, Tony, I didn't get a chance to ask you this because we didn't talk. But would it be safe to say that Jimmy G has lost his job because that rookie got a good arm and he?
Oh yeah,
Yes, he does.
Boy, he's killing them.
yeah. I think that rookie is starting his own current controversy out there in San Francisco. Because man, why the heck would you even make a change? That dude
Not
is.
pretty.
He can
Yeah.
read. He can read the defense as well.
OJ, are you back?
Very smart decisions.
Yeah, I'm back.
OJ, I got a question for you because you're always high on this person gets the money. He's been the starter, aka Dallas.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're
Hit
not
him,
gonna.
Cliff.
There's no money here. This dude is a rookie. He was, what do they call him? He was the unsung Mr. Irrelevant because he was the last person taken in the draft. Now, when Jimmy G comes back, is Shanahan putting him in or is he leaving this rookie in?
That depends. If your team is on a roll, you don't want to disturb that chemistry. But there is something to play out Jimmy.
Hold on. OJ.
But is
Yeah,
Jimmy coming back though?
Here you go again. OJ. That man ain't coming back. He's been trying to get rid of him for years now. And he finally said, finally, I got somebody.
But and the other thing to it is, Quell, when that other kid that they traded up for gets healthy next year, he's really gonna have a tough time because I think this kid has just as good as an arm, if not better accuracy, if from what I saw from the two playing. And the fact
This
that
kid is number one, and the guy they got is number 2 right now. Jimmy G ain't even in the conversation.
And on top of that, OJ,
Jimmy G's not coming back.
that
2023. That's a foregone conclusion.
right, and on top of that,
He won't be-
what's his name? Lawrence. What's his name? Not Lawrence. What's his name? Lance. When Lance comes back,
Trey Lance.
when Trey Lance comes back, this rookie's gonna have more games under his belt.
Yep.
Oh yeah, dang.
Yeah.
They
Well,
gonna be
you
in
know,
the
Possibly a
spot.
playoff win. Playoff
Yeah, I
win
know.
or two, maybe.
Trey Lance was the one they went up gave all them picks for, so he's gonna start regardless.
Yeah,
That's how
I guess
that
they got to
goes.
see what he got, but
Maybe,
I don't
but
know.
I mean, I go with Tony or OJ. You always tell me numbers don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, OJ. Those are your words, buddy.
That's true, but you got to see what you got. I mean, you spent all this draft capital to get this guy. He hasn't really played.
So You're telling me that draft capital.
Before you.
So you're telling me that it's better to roll the dice for draft capital instead of bring your franchise possibly some championships because you're benching this kid just because you gave up so much for him? Doesn't the high outweigh the low here? I mean,
now when it comes to the organization, I mean, look at Green Bay and that quarterback. I mean, he hasn't showed them enough in practice, so that's why they kowtow on Aaron Rodgers. But if he had been the world beater they thought he was, Aaron Rodgers, they would have got rid of him, and they still might get rid of him.
I don't think Jordan Love hasn't had enough games under his belt. You can't see what he got if you don't play him.
Speaking of that, you know what? I want to go back to Green Bay real quick. You know what, Green Bay? Y'all keep Aaron Rodgers. Y'all keep hoping on that boy. Y'all keep betting all y'all chips on that boy. Cause he's trash. He's washed up. He's done. Get him up out of here. If y'all don't do something with Jordan Love, he gonna get traded. All right, y'all gonna have to trade him because he gonna just leave. And I want y'all to be trash. So stay with Aaron Rodgers. I told my coworker this the other day. I said, remember when I first got here at Social Security? Because I work at Social Security, y'all. Y'all won't know if y'all don't know. I said, hey, he a Packers fan. I said, y'all ain't never gonna go back to the Super Bowl. That boy Aaron Rodgers ain't the leader. He said, what? What? And every year he'd be like, we're in the NFC Championship. I'm like, y'all ain't going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, we is. This is our year. That boy's an MVP. I go, he ain't a leader. He ain't the guy to get you over the top. Every year. And this happens every year. You know what? Aaron Rodgers is
Speaking
done.
of which, I think Cooper Rush, if Dallas don't, they better sign him to a multi-year deal because as they can see, Prescott is not the one to stay healthy all the time, and as all of us know, you need a second strong, good quarterback to come in and pick up the slack. You don't want somebody that you don't want to go from, for lack of percentages, you don't want to go from a 93 all the way down to a 76. You just don't want to do that.
I don't know. They blew out the Vikings, and then all of a sudden they started to lose again for some reason, and play down to their competition again.
That's what they're doing. They're playing down to their competition. But everybody wants to keep all that pressure on Dak. But Dak they was at 27-10 or something, and they let the boys come back. I mean, he got 4. That's 4 touchdowns. You can't win with
that's 4
touchdowns.
touchdowns, but at the same time, they still didn't score no more either.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Dak's at the helm though. He's the quarterback, so you already know how it goes.
I'm about to say, OJ, you already know that's supposed to be the leader of the team. If you the quarterback, it's all on you. If you win, if y'all win, the glory comes to you. If you don't, then you know it's on you. Now, in this sense, we have to put it on him. He threw the pick 6 to lose in overtime. So,
but that wasn't even that pick 6. That wasn't him. I mean, that bounced off the receiver hand. So if it hit your hand, you should have caught the damn ball.
That is true, but the stats is not going to say that.
Nope,
the stats is
and
going
they
to say
always
it's a pick
bring
6.
that up.
Who was the receiver?
Yeah,
Gallup?
good point.
Who was the receiver that didn't catch it? Gallup, or was it a Lamb?
Oh, no, it's that rookie, that Trent Brown.
Well, that's what he gets for throwing to the rookie in the crunch time, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was just like, hey, can't throw it to the rookie on crunch time, man. Heck no, you can't do that.
Hey,
I mean, let's be smart about it. Come on now. Dallas, what the problem is, Jerry's world is a messed up world because it's his way or no way, and if he getting his feelings about something, he's gonna make a move that makes no sense, but because he don't want to kneel or concede to something, then he just does it. That's just how he's always operated. That's why Jimmy Johnson didn't last more than 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, because he didn't want to give Jimmy Johnson control of drafting, which he had done it. So why not? He brought you 2 Super Bowls and you ain't won but 1 since. So
don't forget about Parcells before him.
Yep.
Parcells built that team.
Yep,
that
exactly.
transition team for Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
But Jimmy Jones just could not keep his damn mitts off his team. I know that's your team and all, but you hired these Hall of Fame coaches to come in.
I was about to say, don't you hire
Recruit
somebody to
talent.
do a job and not have to look over their shoulder? Who wants to micromanage all the time? That's not what I hired
Right.
you for.
And then you hire
Right.
Jason Garrett of all people. Like, come on,
Right.
now, bro.
And
Jason
they let him
Garrett?
stay there
Who is
too
that dude?
long.
Well,
They let
number,
him stay there too long.
he was a decent quarterback, but head
Yeah,
coach?
yes.
No.
No.
No. And he stayed too long. That fool overstayed his welcome. It was because Jimmy Jones pulling all the strings.
Yep. So, all right, let's look at this playoff picture. We got San Francisco probably gonna win the NFC West. I personally think they're gonna win the NFC, but we'll get to that later.
Yep. They might. They might.
They might.
We got
Possible.
the Eagles won the East, the Vikings won the North.
Yep.
Lord knows ain't nobody gonna win the South. They're gonna end up in a 4-way tie. The South just sucks.
Hey, Tampa Bay's gonna win by default. They gonna win by default.
Didn't they just lose this
Yeah, they
past
might.
Sunday?
But they're winning though. They're leading the South right now by one game.
Didn't they just lose
Yeah, they
this
got-
past Sunday though?
Yeah,
think
they
they
came
did.
out like game busters
Yep.
for a half, and then the second half, I don't know what happened.
Oh, the Jacksonville, right?
No, the Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was the problem. It was Cincinnati.
But I was gonna say that just proves that defensive coordinator. He does that. He's been doing that for the last 7 to 8 games. They've been losing, and then the second half comes. He fixed out whatever the problem was, and they end up winning those games. That's a good defensive coordinator.
Well, this
Mhm.
one they were just too far behind. So, all right. What about the AFC?
They down by 17 points.
We got the
And they
Chiefs in the West, and they already won that. The North is still up for grabs. What about the
South.
East? The East is still up. Actually, all of them are up for grabs except the West.
Baltimore's not gonna do nothing unless Lamar Jackson come back. I mean, you can put
It's
the
Kansas
fork in.
City
They
or
got-
bust.
How do we know that? Hold on, Quail. How do you know that, OJ? Because you always say that quarterback's just like Lamar Jackson. He just doesn't have the speed. And if he's in the if he knows the system, maybe that team will respond to him better. Because Lamar Jackson was blowing some games. Okay, let's just keep it real. There's a couple of those games that they should be 11-2.
Hold on. Why are we always talking about the quarterback blowing the game? No, the quarterback puts you in position to win the game. The
Okay.
defense has to close it
I
out.
can say this about this game because OJ, they were going for it on 4th down. He's in the pistol and fumbles the snap. That's on the quarterback. You can't blame nobody else
Yeah.
for that.
Nah, Cliff, that's on the center. Hey, at the press
Yeah.
conference, I'm like, hey, the center didn't give me the ball. I don't know what to tell
Right,
y'all.
right. It was the center. It's his fault.
I guess, to be fair. Yeah, but I'm with you, OJ, because 3 out of those 4 games that they done lost, the defense just fell apart, especially that game against Miami. Dude, you up 35-21 in the 4th quarter, and you let these fools come back and score 3 touchdowns in a row. Come on now, you just can't do that. And maybe that's why they haven't signed him yet, Quail, because this is like the 3rd year in a row he got hurt, late season,
Well,
right?
that's why they've been
Maybe he milking the injury. Maybe he milking it.
Oh, so he doing the LeBron?
LeBron.
Hey, I was just saying, if I was Lamar
Hey.
Jackson, I would do that too. I mean, because, you proving your worth to the team. They can't do nothing without you. But yeah, they still don't want to pay you. Come on, man.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair,
Milk it.
To be fair, last year when he was hurt, 2 out of those 3 games they could have won. It's a dumb coach, John Harbaugh had to win for 2 instead of kicking an extra point to go in overtime.
Lamar Jackson is that team.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying
They just need to
they still could have won those games without
realize,
him.
well, we all realize that he is the team. So pay the man. Or let him bounce.
He's the team,
Hey, that man.
but he is injury prone. I mean, there's cause for pause there, right?
Yeah, he's
Hey,
injury
we'll
prone
switch
because he
quarterbacks.
got to do everything. He has
Okay.
to do everything.
Not everything. OJ, you said it yourself last year that the team, the practice squad people was coming up, stepping up, right? So I mean, he gotta have somebody to throw to. They gotta make the plays, right?
That's what I'm saying. His receivers get hurt, running backs hurt, but they still winning. Why? Because Lamar Jackson is that dude.
But if he's hurt, he can't do that, right?
Exactly. And you see, they ain't winning.
That's
He ain't-
but that's what
he
I'm
ain't-
saying. Why pay somebody if he's gonna be hurt all the time?
Why pay him? Well, he would be hurt all the time if you gave him some weapons like all these other quarterbacks got.
Yeah, well, and all these other quarterbacks ain't got nothing either, Aaron Rodgers, because they sucking up all the dang money. I didn't even like neither one of the teams, but the Giants and the Commanders are playing. I think it was Sunday night, and maybe it was Monday night, whatever night it was. On that last play, dude pushed off to knock the ball down, and they didn't even call pass interference. They got to train. They got to get better refs, man, for these big games, especially for these televised games. I could see if it wasn't a national televised game, but for Monday, Sunday, and Thursday night games, come on now, y'all got to get a better team,
right.
a better refereeing squad together, so we can have some. Call it both ways. So that's the biggest issue I have. They'll call something on one side, but then won't call it on the other. That's the biggest problem we used to always have with wrestling. They don't never call it both ways, mainly because our team was mostly black and Asian, but that ain't the point. It shouldn't even matter. We was good. Let's make our picks.
Wait, whoa. Y'all, I know. Why you just brush past the
Vikings?
Vikings coming back on
Right.
the Colts?
Who coming?
Right, the Vikings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because that game shouldn't have been that close to begin with, number one. How they gonna be down?
The game was supposed to be.
That game shouldn't have been that close. They got lucky.
The Vikings suck this year. They trash.
Maybe they, hopefully, like Tony said, hopefully that woke them up and got their junk together right before the playoffs, because they need.
Nope. Because they got Kirk Cousins. And you know why he won that game? Because his punk self had nothing to lose. So he's like, I'm just throw it out here, be all right. Then as soon as it got tight again, he started shivering up and not doing nothing again. This man is trash. My goodness. Hey, name me one team the Vikings blew out this year. Don't worry, I'll wait.
You don't have
My goodness. They blew out one team. Not one.
Maybe the competitive spirit was just up.
Oh my God.
They got
These
lucky.
boys.
Everybody get lucky once in a while. They're lucky. But I tell you what, if they happen to meet up with San Francisco in the playoffs, I know there's going to be a blowout. It ain't going to be Minnesota that's blowing. San Francisco is going to mock
They
them
looked and
boys.
changed that quick, huh?
As far as the Trey Lance Purdy thing, that's what preseason is for.
That's what's for
But
it?
Trey Lance is preseason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Trey Lance is going to be the starter by default because of what I had said earlier about just that draft capital.
Well, we'll see how this year turns out, though. We'll see.
Yeah.
We might be having a
Hey,
different
y'all.
conversation if San Francisco is progressing in the playoffs. With
But
this
let's
rookie.
say hypothetically that San Francisco wins the Super Bowl, which they won't because it'll be the Chiefs. But anyway,
Yeah.
but let's say they do. You trying to tell me you bench a Super Bowl winning quarterback just because some draft
Right.
capital? I don't think so. Hey, OJ, how you think your boy Tom Brady feels that he got beat by Mr. Irrelevant, kind of like what he was when he first came into the league?
Hey, he was irate, but you know what? He only had himself to blame. He threw what, 2 interceptions in that game?
Something like that.
OJ,
What?
I want you to apologize to me right now. I told you them Bucks was trash. And I tell you what, boy, them boys was garbage. I said, man, hey, he was like, no, we going on the road. I said, hey, man, you might want to slow down. That boy is not looking good right now. He's looking like Rodgers out there in these streets. Crumbling. He folding up. What you tell me? Nah, we be good. I said, all right, OJ, we'll see.
Just like I'm gonna tell you, yeah, we doing up and down play or whatever. We're still gonna get in the dance, and if we get in the dance, we have a chance. just like anybody else.
I guess
Hey,
you only
man,
got a chance when you
NFL
got Tom Brady at the quarterback, but that defense ain't looking too shabby or too good right now. Looks like we got some Saturday games, y'all. Buffalo at who cares? Buffalo at Chicago, New Orleans at Cleveland. I don't even. You know what? I'm just gonna skip over all these BS games. Houston at Tennessee. Seattle actually might make the playoffs, but they're playing Kansas City. Kansas City needs that home field advantage, so they're probably
And
gonna play
Deshaun
everybody.
Watson looks rusty as hell now.
Of course he does. He ain't played for 2 years, almost 3 actually.
Right. Right. 2.5 years. Yeah.
Hey, Quail,
Yeah.
Detroit, New York's coming to, the Giants is coming to Minnesota. What y'all gonna do? Detroit going to Carolina. They should win that. Atlanta at Buffalo, or not Buffalo, but Baltimore. Washington at San Francisco. Philly going to Dallas. What time is this game at? 4:25. Okay, I'll make a point. Raiders going to Pitt. And the Sunday games is Tony's favorite team, Green Bay,
Green
going
Bay.
down to Miami. And
Please. Miami
They
should,
gonna
they
lose
should
that.
run away with it. Yeah, Green Bay
Denver
they
gonna
going
lose
to
that
the
one.
Rams. That's a wash. Y'all shouldn't even televise that dang game.
They
Tampa
shouldn't.
going to Arizona. And Monday night we
That's
got
Sunday night.
That's a win.
Chargers going to
See how bad
Indianapolis.
Arizona is?
Most of these games this week ain't even worth watching, for real.
Right. They're not.
Especially this
They're not.
Tampa-Arizona game. Who wants to see that?
OJ.
Cardinals done for the season after Carl Murray done for the season after tearing his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta say is
ACL tear.
good job, Kyler Murray. Get that money. Now you can
Oh,
stay at home.
He been
Now
in
you
that
really don't
boy.
have to study.
Now that's the one you talking about shouldn't have been paid. You talking about Lamar Jackson, Cliff. That boy.
Right, right,
I would
right.
have been like Kyler
You,
Murray.
hey,
That's true. I was
Tony,
like,
you stole
y'all
my
pay-
phrase.
y'all
I was
paid
about to say. Now you got plenty of time to study. But-
Right. We think alike, man. We think alike, because damn. But he ain't gonna study. You know him. That boy don't need to
He gonna
study.
be a
He's
whiz
talented,
up in
right?
there.
Yeah. He gonna be playing some Madden. That's what that Joker's gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he gonna come out. Yeah, he gonna prove y'all wrong. He gonna be like, I saw that there was 2 safeties over the top, so I threw down to the flats. We came out there with a and watch.
Yeah,
Why?
right.
I believe in you, Kyler. How much guaranteed money is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury he probably got one more year. If they don't do something next year, injury or not to key players, he's gonna be gone. But you know,
They said he
I was just
this
about to
man
say,
gonna
you
be
know who
all
gonna make
out this
y'all know who gonna make some noise in the AFC is San Diego. They gonna upset somebody.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree.
their
They
head
gonna
coach
make
is the one that sets them back. 'Cause he was making some dumb calls.
Yeah, he'll go for it on 4th and 2 on his own side of the field, and I'm talking like 25-20, not the 45. So I mean, fool, this
Yeah,
ain't
he do
mad.
make some dumb calls. Right,
What's
right.
wrong with
This ain't
you?
mad, boy. Right.
We'll come back after the playoff picture is set. But I guess we can pick these bowl games though. The championship anyway. Yeah, y'all already know I'm picking Michigan to win it all, so don't even ask me. So, but
Oh no, man.
even though I don't like Jim Harbaugh, but whatever. I'm not high on him. He made a lot of mistakes when he was in San Francisco too, so we'll see if he can get
Yeah, he did.
if he
He
can
did.
if he can make
Yeah.
make a run and finally get
Well, that-
towards the championship. So
Well, I hope he goes out on a high note because he's rumored to have that coach job when it's open
where?
I like Harbaugh.
In Indianapolis,
in Indianapolis coach. Yeah.
the coach
They said
job.
that
Yeah.
The owner wants to give that job to Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Should he want it? But TCU's a hard. I mean, they've been down all year only to come back and win. So
So you think Georgia's gonna have a problem with him? Is that what you're saying? No, it ain't
Michigan's gonna have
Georgia.
a problem.
Michigan. Man, please.
Basically.
But what about that Ohio
Michigan
State,
gonna have a problem.
Ohio State Georgia game? That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
good.
gonna be a good game.
That's
But
gonna be a good game. Yeah.
Ohio State ain't got no defense.
Nope.
They got a good offense, but they ain't got no defense. And Georgia's all about the defense.
And CJ Stroud can't do it all.
Yeah.
His
Well,
And,
The
defense gonna be a little too much.
You know what the consensus is in the college football. Just score as many points as you can. Who cares about the defense?
That's true.
Yeah, but when Georgia takes that away from you, because you see what they did to Tennessee.
Look, what's OJ's favorite saying? The defense wins championships.
Yeah.
Georgia's got that this year, boy. Yeah.
But defense loses to a better offense.
But it should come down to 1 versus 2, which is Georgia and Michigan. And I don't know. It's the both teams are very good on defense. But Michigan got a better offense. So I will go ahead and give it to Michigan, I guess.
No.
But if Georgia does win, they'll be the first team to repeat as national champs in this whole playoff era.
Yeah, they won it last
Yeah,
year.
they won it last year.
Against a watered down Alabama team. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And
They were watered down.
So that's your pick, OJ? Michigan over Georgia?
Yep, that's my pick. That's what I'm saying. I'm sticking with it.
Michigan's always been my squad, but I'm not a big Harbaugh fan. But I'll take the high road. I'm still gonna go with Michigan because they've been my team forever. So I'm glad they back in the hunt because they really ain't been relevant since Woodson was there. Thanks for joining us on Sports Talk Coast to Coast. See you next time.